welcome back once again. So let's learn about how to use nested scrolling in Compose to create a complex coordination between multiple composables on a single scroll to create a delightful UI and user experience. So as you can see in the figure, like we have this nested scroll, and now we will try to implement this nested scroll in this tutorial. So what we will be talking about, we will be talking about a lot of interesting concepts like nested scroll. We will be also talking about nested scroll connection, on pre-scroll, on post-scroll, some thresholds, some interesting concepts about threshold. So what does nested scroll mean actually? So nested scroll in Compose, we use nested scroll in Compose actually to allow to create a intricate interaction between composables in a response to a single scroll gesture. So just as you can see here in the example, so like we have a nested scroll, so we have this behavior that's going on, and we try to implement this behavior using nested scroll. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn about. So let's understand first the basics. Um, so in Compose we have scroll modifiers, like Compose offers a vertical scroll and horizontal scroll. All right, so this is the basic fundamentals. So in lazy column and lazy rows are scrollable by default, so you don't need to apply any scroll, vertical scroll or horizontal scroll in your lazy column or lazy row, so they are scrollable by default. Okay, so and then another interesting concept is like the scroll deltas. So this represent the amount of scroll consumed or that is remaining during the scroll gestures, so you can use them to control the UI elements that don't inherently scroll, or to coordinate scrolling between these components. Okay, the scrolling behaviors between the components. So the important concept is also about the scroll deltas. So what is nested scrolling system? So what is this nested scrolling system? The nested scroll modifiers, as you can see here, the nested scroll modifiers, this modifier is the entry point to the nested scrolling system. Okay, so you just need to pass the nested scroll connection here, as you can see here. You apply it to the parent composables, often box, to manage and delegate the scroll deltas to its children. Okay, so you just need to be careful where to apply this nested scroll. Usually it is applied to box. Okay, as a parent, so it's actually applied to the parent, so that the parent will try to manage and delegate the scroll data to his children. Okay, so what about this nested scroll connection? Okay, nested scroll connection, as you can see here, the implementation, this interface enables this nested scroll connection. You can just go and just view the documentation. This interface actually, as you can see here, enables you to interact with the scrolling system. Okay, so you just see it's like the document, as the documentation say, you have it's an interface to connect to the nested scroll system. Pass this connection to the nested scroll modifier to participate in the nested scroll hierarchy and to receive nested scroll events when they are dispatched by the scrolling child. Okay, scrolling child, the element that actually receives scrolling events and dispatches them through nested scroll dispatcher. So this is how it's working. And like your interface nested scroll connection has this function, like on pre-scroll, on post-scroll, on pre-fling, on post-fling, so these are the functions, or you can see it's like a callback, and this callback actually it is like this four callbacks, as you can see here, are the four phases of the scroll. So on pre-scroll, let's just pre-scroll event chain. called by children to allow parent to consume a portion of the drag event beforehand. So they are called before any composables composable before any composables consume the scroll delta. So ideal for it is usually ideal for reacting to the scroll and updating UI elements, example scaling an image. Okay. So and on post scroll event pass, this pass occurs when the dispatching scrolling descendant made their consumption and notifies ancestors with what's left to them to scroll. Okay, so you have this post scroll that is called after composables have consumed the scroll deltas. Okay, and then you have a post fling. There's a pre-fling event chain called by children when they are about to perform fling to allow parents to intercept and consume parts of their initial velocity. So it's called before a fling gesture starts. And then on post fling is a post fling event chain called by the child when it is finished flinging and sending on scroll and post scroll events. So these are called after a fling gesture ends. Okay, so this is how it is this interface is designed, and like this is like made of so let's implement the nested scroll scrolling row now. So you have to this nested scroll screen, which you just create a nested scroll connection here, and you remember this connection, and like you create a nested scroll connection object with on prescroll. So here inside this prescroll we consume the scroll data and update the UI elements. We consume vertical scroll events when the seats is expanded. So you have this delta, you calculate the new image size alpha or floating extent button offsets, then you return the consumed delta as offset, and implement. You can also optionally implement other callbacks like post scroll, post fling, pre fling, so as I discussed you before. But this is the example of how you create the nested scroll connection object. And then you just need to pass this nested scroll connection to your nested scroll modifier. Okay, and you pass it to the parent container, which is just handling the and delegating the next scrolling behavior to its delegating the scroll deltas actually to the children. This is how the entire structure is working. So also let's further talk about some example that I implemented here. This is a simple example that I implemented here to show the nested scroll behavior. Okay, as you can see here, okay, so let's explore the code here. So this is the nested scroll example code here. Okay, so here, okay, let's go one by one. What we do, we create our nested scroll connection here, and this composable function is used to remember the nested scroll connection object across recompositions. Okay, so this ensures that the connection is maintained, and even if the composable is recomposed due to state changes. Okay, so now we create this object called nested scroll connection, which is remembered, and this creates an anonymous object that implements the nested scroll connection interface. So this interface is crucial for interacting with the nested scroll system. Okay, so we just implement on prescroll. This function actually is called before the child composables consumes any scroll events, and then this parameter available represents the scroll delta that is currently available for consumptions. So it's an offset value, as you can see here, indicating the amount of scroll in the x and y direction. And then we have this source. This parameter indicates the source of the scroll event. Example layer, touch input, fling gestures. The function is expanded to return an offset value representing the amount of scroll data that has been consumed. Okay, so if you have no consumption of delta, then you just pass offset of 0. So in this example, the prescroll function consumes the entire vertical scroll delta that is available of y and returns it. This means that the child composables will not receive any vertical scroll events. Box with this, we just create this nested scroll, then we pass the nested scroll to this box, nested scroll connection to the box modifiers. Then now we have these children's. The children's are of like we have a lazy column that is scrolling, and a floating action button bottom at the bottom, and we have a list of podcasts and image on the top, and then the nested scroll is handled using this nested scroll connection. Okay, that's it. This is all about the code. And yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, please do write me in the comment, and catch you up later, guys.